This year is being dedicated to Lui Nishmat Moshe ben Mordechai Halevi. In talking about Purim, there's a very famous Gemara which is often quoted in connection to Purim, wherein three of the major characters of Purim, the question the Gemara asks in Chulin is to where are they hinted at in the Torah? Haman mina Torah minayin, where's Haman hinted at? Mordechai mina Torah minayin, where's Mordechai hinted at? Esther mina Torah minayin, where's Esther hinted at? And the Gemara answers by quoting different psukim. And the psukim are very indicative of what Purim is about and gives us a sense of the depth of the holiday. What I'd like for us to do tonight is to examine the Gemara in its entirety. One of the things that's so unfair is to take a concept and just quote here and there. It's, I guess, what I do all the time, and not to see the whole spectrum, the whole Gemara. Because the Gemara in its entirety gives us a deeper sense of what these individuals are about and the psukim quoted, and what Purim is all about. So the first and foremost I'd like to do is to learn through the Gemara together, and raise a number of questions on the Gemara, and then try to look at the Gemara on two levels to gain somewhat of an insight into the essence of what Purim is about. Purim being the holiest day of the Jewish calendar year. There are many essences. We'll try to tap in on two of them in Mirz Hashem today. The second Migama, the second goal, is to try to understand a little bit more deeply what Mishloach Manos is about, when we send at least two gifts to one friend. And the Mechaber tells us, Shulchan Aruch tells us, the more you send, the more praiseworthy it is. Obviously, as the Rambam tells us, spend more money on Matanos Avyonim than Mishloach Manos, which means that you shouldn't have these Mishlochei Mano, which is, the talk of the town. But do it with simplicity, do it with beauty, and, in such a way, in a sneistic way that you're not spending an abundant amount of money, but send to your friends, send to as many people as possible. And we know, just parenthetically, the Mishloach Manos, to be Yotzei, at least one of them, has to be food for the Suda, food for the meal itself, right? So to have all your Mishlochei Manot, milk chocolate bars, when the Suda is usually Fleischach, you're really not Yotzei, you're Chiyuv. That's why if you go to a friend for Suda, and you bring a salad and a kugel, and you say, this is my Mishlochei Manot, that's the best way, really, to be Yotzei. Okay. But I'd like to try to understand symbolically, philosophically, what makes Purim unique in that we send Davka Mishloach Manos on Purim. Those are our focus, as well as what we can glean and learn from Purim in general. Let's see the entire Gemara. It's in Gemara in Chulin, Daf Kuf Lametet Amud Beis. Most of the Gemara is photocopied here. At the end, we'll just say outside. It was just an oversight that it's not here. The Gemara cites an inquiry. The Papians used to say to Rav Manasseh, Matzah kan birosho shel adam mahu. If one found a bird's nest on the head of a person, what is the law? Because it's only when you have a bird's nest that's connected to the ground do you do the mitzvah of kan tzipor. And if it's up in the heavens, you don't do it. So where is a bird's nest if it's found on the head of a person? So he answers, V'adamal rosho. The verse says, and the earth was on his head, which means that the bird's nest, if it's found on a person's head, we know these people that have these, haircuts like you think a bird could find its nest in there. All right, use your imagination. It is chayev in shiluach hakan, in sending away the bird's nest. Then they ask further, where in the Torah, prior to Moshe Rabbeinu's birth, Moshe mina Torah minayin is an allusion to the arrival of Moshe Rabbeinu, which is appropriate to learn about today. Zayin Adar, which is the day of the birth and the death of Moshe Rabbeinu. And the Gemara answers, B'shagam hu basar. The pasuk is in Parshat Noach, inasmuch B'shagam as he is mere flesh. And the end of the pasuk is that man lives 120 years. Moshe Rabbeinu also lived 120 years. Then the Gemara asks, Haman mina Torah minayin? Where is there an allusion to the episode of Haman? And the Gemara answers, Hamina eitz. Have you, Hamin, eaten from the tree from which I commanded you not to eat. So Hamin is the same letters as Haman with different vocalization. From this tree did you eat? Hamin. This is an allusion to Haman. Another inquiry. Esther mina Torah minayin. Where's Esther alluded to in the Torah? And he answers from the pasuk Vanochi hastir astir, and I will surely hide my face, my countenance from them. And then the Gemara ends Mordechai mina Torah minayin. Where is Mordechai found in the Torah? And he quotes a pasuk by the Besamim, more drawer, that one of the spices in the Ketorah was a spice called more drawer, where the Aramaic translation is Maryad Dichya, which is, if you put those two words together, it's Mordechai. So obviously, there are quite a number of questions on this Gemara. We're only going to deal with a number. First of all, what is